Penis, penis, penis. Vagina, vagina, vagina. This is Varsity Blues.
All those moments lost in time, like tears. All those moments lost in time, like tears.
Welcome, Yo Bro Nation, to your retro movie review. I don't think I've had one of these in about 3 years. Like, holy crap, it's really been that long. Like, wow, it's been a long time. But it's funny because I was sitting the other day and my buddy Jeff posted something that Varsity Blues had turned 20 years old this year. I was just like, what? So I instantly had the feeling that I needed to watch this movie. Like, I had to watch Varsity Blues right away. But then I was like, you know what? I haven't done one of these. I wanted to start getting the movie reviews going again. Why not? Why not review this movie? What is the worst that it could hurt to review this movie? Wouldn't hurt at all. But this is your first retro movie review in ages. I think 2016, so 3 years, almost to the day since I've done one of these reviews. A lot of stuff coming. Off the top, before I get into the movie, I just want to touch a little bit, and I'm not going to do this in all my movie reviews because these are also obviously going to be shorter videos. I'm going to take a long time in movie reviews, but I didn't do nothing last week on either channel because, honestly, WrestleMania burnt me out. I knew I wasn't going to do a Raw review, but Raw came and passed, and I was like, man, this is a nice relaxing night. I just watched Raw, went to bed after I watched some Impractical Jokers, and then the next day, it's like, you know what? I'm going to take the whole week. Well, I thought I'd take Tuesday, and then Wednesday came, I was like, yeah, I'll just take the week. Just enjoy this week. Didn't review movies, didn't review Gotham or Supernatural or anything. I just enjoyed television. Did some stuff around the yard and around the house. You'll notice I have a blank background behind me. And I apologize for the lighting. It's a little off. I'm redoing this. Entire section. You're going to get more of the background here shortly. This is all getting redone. So the background's going to be kind of plain. I may even be doing a couple of videos that take place in the kitchen or the dining room. I don't know where. For a little bit, just till I get this area completely redone, so you guys can see my displays and stuff. Me and my girlfriend are actually discussing that stuff now as to how to do that without making it something permanent, because she eventually wants to set the table and everything up in this area, so I'll figure it out. I'll get it all taken care of at some point and figure out how I want to do this. But man, I love this movie. But I am talking about Varsity Blues, which came out January 15th, 1999. Man, that was a long time ago. Of course, it was directed by Brian Robbins. Starred James Vanderbeek, Paul Walker, Scott Caan, Ron Lester, Amy Smart, Ollie Larder, John Voight, and Ellie Swinton. Who, this was the main cast, and there was a bunch of other people who made cameos in the movie that you don't even realize were in the movie. People who would show up for set. I mean, this was a big movie. This is one of my favorite sports-related movies. I love Friday Night Lights. I love Any Given Sunday. But this is like probably in my top 5 for all those movies. The Replacements is another one. And this movie, it's not it's not a movie for everybody. But I was a teenager when this movie came out. I was in high school when this movie came out. I was a freshman in high school, so I already kind of knew what the football experience was going to be like, just from seeing the varsity players, what little I did on the freshman team. Mind you, I was not a great player at all. In fact, my freshman year, I barely showed up for practice. I was just not committed. I was afraid to get hit. I was a pussy. But so I knew what that life was kind of like, and then I actually lived in Texas when I was in the Army, so I got a face full of Texas football. How strict they really, even to this day, are on those kids about how they do football and all that stuff. And I mean, I feel legitimately like bad for these kids and how things are done with them. And man, it was rough. But this movie, with this cast, it was an MTV production, took place in Texas, and just, man, it was, from the opening tap, that voiceover from James Vanderbeek about, laws against killing, stealing, and there's other laws here in Texas. Just do what your coach tells you and do the best that you can. And then you really see in this movie, okay, I'm not going to do like a full-on in-depth review. I'll talk about various points in the movie that were important, and just the overall atmosphere. Because you got this hardcore Coach Bud Kilmer, played by Jon Voight. And then you got, Lance Harbor, who's the star quarterback, played by Paul Walker, someone who passed away. And this is definitely one of my favorite Paul Walker movies. Then you got, John Moxley, the Mox, West, the Coyote star quarterback, Tweeter. You get Billy Bob, who's the lineman, the fat guy, got a little harsh, the cheerleader, Darcy. You got the players who are just treated like shit by this coach. And, also, spoiler alert, guys. This movie is 20 years old, so if you haven't seen this movie, okay, don't expect me to not talk about it. But just everything, and everything's fine. They're on their way to his 23rd district championship for the coach, Kilmer. Lance gets hurt because Billy Bob took a shot to the head in a previous game, and, well, the dude probably was concussed. Most likely. Like, this movie really shows just how rough it really could be for players like that, and how some coaches can be like that. I'm not saying every coach in football is like that, but in Texas, with the experiences of what I saw, it can get bad. And people think it's just exclusive to Texas. I've seen coaches here, where I'm from, just how rough they can really be with these kids, and how they're just so worried about their legacy that they don't really care about the kids. So it shows how bad the coach was. Lance gets hurt, has Lance just taking injections in his knee to keep playing. Turns out the dude shouldn't have been playing. You see them just being teenagers, going and having their parties and having fun like that, and just enjoying themselves, right? This movie, it is good. It is a coming-of-age story in a sense, because you got Moxley, who's forced to take over for Lance, and he's hesitant, but he kind of likes it. And of course, you get things spiral out of control, where, the students have to stand up against the coach, and all this stuff. And then you get the crazy scenes, like, where you're like, okay, they're just teenagers having fun. Like, Tweeter stealing the cop car, riding around with the girls naked in the cop car, just doing crazy shit like that. Or, Moxley, he's got his girlfriend, who's played by Amy Smart, Julie, I love her. Maybe I do, I don't know. Maybe you love Lance, and Darcy invites him over, and she's wearing the most famous scene from this movie that's been imitated in many other skits and other movies, most famously with Captain America and Not Another Teen Movie, the whipped cream scene. And we all know what that was, and as an adolescent teenager, I was like, damn! Now it's like, oh okay. But it has iconic things. And then the music for the movie is fantastic. I have to say it, but the crescendo of this movie is the end. You know, you got all this other stuff. You got the teacher, all right, at the strip club, naked, dancing for Hot to Teacher by Van Halen. I mean, I could just stop and just, oh yeah, then there's this, and then there's that. Yes, I know this says it's a movie review, but this is more of just a retrospective. I'm enjoying this movie because, man, it's just, there's so much goodness in this movie. And you really should go back and watch this movie. If you haven't, go and watch it. Because it really is just awesome. It's such an awesome movie. I love the movie. The direction in this movie is good. The cinematography in this movie is good. The music choice is good. The fact that they actually brought people in and brought in real NFL players and actually worked with these guys to really practice football to get these plays down, so when you're watching it, it really feels like you're watching a game. And that was my favorite part, I think, about the whole movie. It's just how well the play on the field was actually produced and done. It made me feel like I was back in school and watching another game. Just all of it together. The story of all these guys coming together with their dick coach. You know, and the parents aren't going to listen to him. And that's the worst part. You know, the parents aren't listening to him. The parents are pressuring them. So you really get the sense of the pressure these kids are under, what they're having to go through. Most of them just are doing it because they feel like they don't have another choice. Like Billy Bob. Billy Bob is the perfect example. The dude busted his tail. He made one mistake and he got shit on by his coach. The whole town is just obsessed with this game. And then you got Mox, who just wants to go to Brown University and just do something else. His dad constantly saying, this is the opportunity of your life. Opportunity of your life. I don't want your life. Was Bacon here? Billy Bob dropped him off and said, you know what to do with him. Then he goes, goes sees Billy Bob. Who else is going to protect my ass? Your ass? Your bony ass. I happen to think I have a very nice ass. Yeah, it is kind of nice. Like, it's obviously I don't get the words right, but it's just, I love this movie, man. And I went back and I rewatched it. I was like, to me, this movie gets better and better every time. But anyways, I'm getting way off track here. And I'm obviously just bouncing around to different things, because the characters are good in this movie. They really make you think that you're really seeing a bunch of high school kids. I don't feel like it's a bunch of 20-year-olds playing high school kids. And you might feel differently, but I really do watch this and I do go, man, these kids are really, I really feel like they're kids, because the actors in this movie are great. I'm like, it's got a great cast. Like I said, you got Paul Walker, who obviously we know who went on to be awesome in what he did. You get an Amy Smart, who was really good at that time. You did get Ali Carter, who's gone on to be a fantastic actress. Jon Voight, a legend in this movie, playing a dick coach. Then you get your Scott Caan, who underrated. I think is a very underrated actor. And of course, James Van Der Beek, who at the time of this I think he was still in the midst of his Dawson's Creek run. So it's just the direction and everything with this movie, it just all came together. It all gelled really well to give you a brilliant told movie. All the way up to the end. They're into the game for the district championship, and Wendell, played by Ellie Swinton. I think you spell it, pronounce it Ellie. But, he hurts his knee, tears something, and they want to put the needle in his knee at the halftime. And, Mox is like, look, if that needle goes in him, find yourself another fucking quarterback. Are you ready to lose that scholarship if it keeps that needle out of his knee? Absolutely. Alright, fuck it, I quit. And he just leaves. And they all turn on him, and he tries to choke Mox, right? He tries to choke him. So the whole locker room turns on the coach, so he just disappears into the abyss. It's like he lost his mind. You never see him again. And then you get that epic halftime speech about, playing that half for that half, leaving it all out there, being legends, heroes. And they come back out and you get the song, Hero by Foo Fighters. And you get songs like Thunderstruck in this movie. And this is such an awesome movie. Now, yes, some of the stuff's exaggerated. I never saw towels that stupidly bloody ever. I mean, yes, people scratched up their elbows, cut them open, had some cuts and bruises, but nothing to the extent that they make this seem in this movie. Is it my favorite football movie? No. Actually, I think Replacements is my favorite of them all. Which is weird, because it's not, you know, it's about a bunch of people who suck, who just kind of get thrown together, but I don't know. I'm rambling again. I really love this movie. I had to talk about it. Yes, this is obviously not a great review. I don't think I intended this to be a great review. I intended this to be just one of those reviews that was good. So for me, Varsity Blues definitely gets an 8.5 out of 10 score. I love this movie, as I've already said. Just everything, the characters. It's one of those movies where I look, you know, I take it as akin to Clerks or Clerks 2, especially Clerks 2. Every time that movie ends, I feel sad, and not because of how the story ended, just because it did end, and I wasn't ready for it to end. I want to experience more. I feel like those are real people to me, and I want to go further in with the story with them. So I'm holding on hope for Clerks 3. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I hearken it with this one. Is I really want to get to know these characters more. I want to see these characters more. So it's like waiting, right? Waiting to see them. And I know I'll never see this. I know they tried to revive it, I think recently. I don't remember how recently. I was kind of doing some research and I came across, they were going to do a Varsity Blues TV series. I don't think it ever got off the ground. But they were going to kind of mesh it in together. So, yeah, maybe that'll still happen. But I don't think it'll ever capture what this did. But this movie definitely gets an 8.5 out of 10 for me. It was a beautifully done movie. Great story with great characters. Had a lot of heart. It is definitely something I say y'all should go watch. You can find it anywhere in your $5 bins to watch those movies. So, watch it. Enjoy it. I'm finished. And I'm going to see you guys later. Enjoy this little outro. And just kind of... I don't know. I'm rambling. This was your Retro Rewind review. Retro movie reviews. I gotta get this stuff different. Enjoy it, and I'll talk to you all in the next world. Peace out.